All right, imagine this. You spend thousands of hours crafting your digital product, you set it up in your store, you launch it, and then not a single sale. Well, after analyzing thousands of digital products and helping over 60,000 creators, we've discovered the biggest reasons why your digital products aren't selling. And they have very little to do with the actual quality of your product itself. Today, I'll be walking you through the 7 biggest reasons why your digital product isn't selling and how to fix them. Some of these mistakes you probably have no clue you're making, so let's fix that. And to start, we'll dive right into the first one. The Cheesecake Factory problem. This is something we've seen hundreds of creators fall into, and the deeper they go, the less money they make from their product sales. It's something that sounds good in theory, but just never works out like you think it would. So why is it called the Cheesecake Factory problem? Well, if you've ever seen their menu, you'd know that there's like a cajillion items to pick from. Quick sidebar, if you're ever actually at the Cheesecake Factory, get the bang bang chicken with shrimp. It is literally to die for. Okay, back to the video. Most people have their favorites and will order within seconds, but there's always that one guy who just can't make up his mind. He's overwhelmed by the number of choices and just can't make a decision. Well, turns out you actually need to think of that one guy as most of your audience. Too many choices lead to decision paralysis, leaving customers overwhelmed and leaving your storefront without ever buying anything. Creators should simplify their product lineup to 4 to 6 offerings with a mix of low, mid, and high ticket options. For example, a low ticket product would be something like an ebook for less than $50. A mid ticket product could be like a course for a few $100, and a high ticket offer could be something like a coaching call for over $1,000. If you offer way more than that, there's a huge chance that you're actually throwing sales away purely based off the fact that your customers don't know which product to choose. Let's look at Avery Lewis as an example. She's an Instagram coach who helps people grow their pages. She sells a mixture of low, mid, and high ticket products. When someone looks through her store, it's pretty likely that they'll purchase the most affordable option first. She then gains their trust through that product, leading them to purchase the mid or high ticket option in the future. It's a simple 3-step process that works pretty efficiently, but there are exceptions to this. Even Avery herself has added a few more low ticket options over the years, but never enough to overwhelm her audience. So what should you do when setting up your products? And how do you even choose what products to sell? Well, you need to identify your most valuable offer and build around it. Remember the 80-20 rule, where 80% of your revenue is likely to come from 20% of your products. Use all of the data that you can get to understand what your best products are, then remove all the rest from your store. If you have more than 6, you're shooting yourself in the foot. If you're just starting out, we recommend you have just 3. Now, with that said, plenty of creators have the perfect number of products in their store, but they're still struggling to make sales. This brings us to the next issue, the Field of Dreams effect. So in 1989, which is like 100 years ago, there was a movie that came out called Field of Dreams, where this guy gets a voice in his head telling him to build a baseball field. It's a pretty normal thing to get in your head as a regular guy. The famous line goes, "If you build it, he will come." Iconic, right? Getting chills. Well, no, actually, that's wrong. While the movie is awesome, this is a trap that most creators fall into. They build out their products, list them on a store, then they wait for people to funnel in and buy. Imagine you built the world's best coffee shop right in your hometown, but you didn't put up a sign or run any ads. No one would know it exists. Would you expect customers to just magically appear? Obviously not, but that's exactly what happens if you list a product and never promote it. You are literally lighting money on fire if you do this, and that's a felony, so don't be doing that. You have to actively market your products, and you need to do it way more than you think that you do. The reality is that most platforms like Instagram and TikTok bury content after a few weeks, so that promotion reel you posted 3 months ago isn't gonna get as many eyes on it this week. To make your audience constantly aware that you have products that will serve them, you need to keep promoting your products for as long as you want to make money from them. However, there's definitely a balance here. On one end, you need to market yourself and your products if you want to make money. On the other end, people will get tired of you if you're constantly trying to sell them things all the time. So what do? Well, you actually need to cultivate your audience before selling to them. Let's use Kay as an example. She's an online business coach that helps people attain 6-figure incomes through working online. She posts consistently with her tips and tricks on how her life has been changed through digital income. She offers value to her audience, helping them understand financial possibilities and breaking limiting beliefs. When she meets new clients, they usually tell her that they watched her for weeks or even months before deciding to sign up for her coaching. In her content schedule, she mixes marketing that promotes her products with content that actually offers free value. This makes her audience feel like they're not constantly getting marketed to, but also makes them curious to want more and see how much her products could benefit them. So how can you do the same thing? Well, if you're posting on short form platforms like Instagram and TikTok, you should probably post at least once a day. In those 7 posts, have at least 1 or 2 posts that make people aware that you have digital products to offer. You should also regularly advertise your products on Instagram stories. If you're posting long form videos on YouTube, you can actually advertise your products in every single video you post. Just don't make that the entire focus of every video. And to break the monotony of saying, hey, I've got this product, go buy it, you can use a mixture of social proof, customer testimonials, and behind the scenes content. Testimonials and social proof are arguably the most important tools to use to make a lot of money, but we'll look even deeper into that later in this video. For now, just make sure that you're repeatedly marketing your products every single week. All right, if you stick to the rule of only offering a few products and you're constantly marketing them, but you're still not making any sales, you've got an even bigger problem. And that's something I like to call the unwanted gift problem. We all know that feeling. You see your weird, distant, kind of smelly aunt on Christmas Day, and she gives you a nicely wrapped Christmas gift. As you unwrap it, you find the last thing that you could possibly want for Christmas. A photo frame, a self-help book, maybe even a novelty tie with guitars on it. One year I got a mug shaped like a camera lens as if it wasn't the least original thing of all time. You have to be polite and say thank you, but from that point onwards, you're probably never going to be excited by the thought of your aunt giving you another gift ever again. This is exactly what happens when you give your audience a product that they don't actually need, or worse, want. One of the biggest pitfalls of newer creators is that they build products that they want to sell, not what their audience actually wants. A great example of this is Monica Lee. She's another creator who teaches people how to build 6-figure incomes online. At first, she thought ebooks were the answer, but as time went on, she realized that more people were showing up for her IG lives, giving her a much better response. Those lives would also directly increase the number of sales that she was getting. So she decided to host regular webinars instead of selling ebooks, and her business blew up. No surprise there. So what did she do differently? Well, she allowed the audience to show her what they wanted, and she acted on it accordingly to actually give them more of that thing. So here's how you can do that too. Firstly, you can poll your audience. You can use community posts on YouTube or polls on your stories on Instagram to ask them what their biggest struggles are. If you already have a decent audience size, then this is the quickest way to understand them better. The next step is to analyze which content gets the most engagement. This will tell you what your audience truly values. And no, this doesn't mean which videos have the most views. You need to look at which videos have the most comments, shares, and real stories of how much your audience values that content. For example, a video with 10,000 views and 100 amazing comments will tell you more than a video with 1 million views and 1,000 mediocre comments. After that, you need to adjust your product offerings to solve actual pain points that your audience has. Monica's audience wanted real-time feedback and natural answers to her questions. Webinars allowed her to give them that, whereas ebooks didn't. For you, this could mean switching from selling a course to a coaching model where you walk your customers through things step by step instead of leaving them to watch a set of videos. At this point in time, you should definitely be selling more products if you just follow the steps I've mentioned so far. But you can make even more money if you focus on this. This water bottle can make or break your business. If you sell it to people, there are 2 outcomes. On one side, they'll think this is the best thing that they've ever had and they'll keep coming back for more. On the other hand, they'll roll their eyes and forget about it forever. So imagine, I gotta pick it up again. So imagine this water was being sold in your store for $500. That's when your customers would tell you off. But if it was Fiji water and you were selling it for only $2, your customers would think it's a huge bargain based on its value. Pricing creates perception, and bad pricing will kill your sales faster than most other things that we've been talking about. If a product is too cheap, people will think it's low value. But if a product is too expensive, people won't trust that it's worth the price. So how the heck are you supposed to price your products? For this, we need to look at Priscilla Presley. She's a business coach and founder of Forward Female. She encourages everyone to prioritize value over everything. She also encourages creators to grow their skills over time, leading to higher value with newer products. It's okay to sell low-ticket products when you start out, especially if it means that you can get started faster. But there's also nothing wrong with charging higher prices for high-value products, even if you're just getting your feet wet. She guarantees that if you focus on value, you'll always over-deliver based on how much your customer is paying. When you prioritize value, you actually prioritize transformation in your customer. And if you can successfully take a person from A to B, then the results will justify whatever price you charge. So let's get down to it. How much should you actually be charging? Well, the first thing you should do is look at your competitors' pricing. This will give you a general idea. The next point is to never go too low. The general rule is that you can always raise your prices, but lowering your prices too much will cause distrust in your audience. Another great strategy is to bundle bonuses together to increase the perceived value. This could be templates, mini courses, or community memberships. Finally, it's okay to test pricing. It's actually pretty common for price increases to actually increase conversion rates, so don't be scared of doing just that. Speaking of conversion rates, that brings us to the next mistake that we see so many creators making on a daily basis. Have you ever been to a store with a never-ending checkout line and just walked out? Well, the same exact thing happens with a complicated checkout process online. We've seen way too many creators trying to get way too fancy with their checkout pages. You'll find plenty of marketing gurus showing you different techniques of collecting more conversions, but the reality is that those are only intended for very specific audiences. Think about it. If you're going to the store to get some apples, you're actually gonna get more frustrated if someone tries to upsell you a bottle of soda before you pay. But if you're about to buy an expensive car, for example, a good tire and service plan is gonna sound like a fantastic idea. Most people buying digital products are in the Apple category though, so don't make things too complicated. Here's what you need to do. Just use a simple one-click checkout process. Avoid forcing customers to make an account before purchasing, and also make sure you offer instant download access right after they purchase the product. By the way, if you want to try a platform that makes it incredibly easy to do just that, then check out StanStore. We make it easier than ever for creators to create one-click purchase products in just a few minutes. Okay, now picture this. You go on a date with a person and they turn out to be everything that you could ever want. They make you laugh, they say all the right things, and they leave you wanting more once the date ends. Could they actually be the one? Who knows? There's a pretty high chance. I mean, the heart wants what the heart wants. But you wait, and then you wait some more, and just like that, you're ghosted. Ouch, right? Been there, done that. Not me. I don't ghost. I've been the ghostee plenty of times. Well, that's actually what a lot of creators do to their audience. Most customers don't buy anything when they first visit an online store. It's your job to collect their information so that you can send emails to them and follow up. Email marketing is a huge part of running an online business, and it's something that every single creator should be using. You're realistically going to make much more money from emails than you think. In fact, it's estimated that by 2027, the worldwide email marketing industry will be worth $17.9 billion. You're losing out if you don't plan on being a part of that. A great inspiration for this particular thing is Hillary Kruger. She's a digital marketing coach who has helped hundreds of entrepreneurs deepen their relationship with clients. She encourages creators to grow their email lists for two reasons: to maintain ownership of your audience. Social media platforms are always changing, so having your audience on a platform that you own will ultimately give you long-term sustainability. Email marketing allows you to actually have more one-on-one conversations with your most interested followers. Even though you're sending bulk emails, it's actually pretty normal for people to individually reply to them, giving you more direct interactions. I could talk about email marketing for hours, and it can get pretty complicated, but here's a basic roadmap to follow. Step 1, offer a freebie in exchange for an email address. This could be a checklist, an ebook, or mini guide. Anything that is easy to make but offers plenty of value to your audience. Step 2, use automated email sequences to remind people about your products. This is when you create a sequence once and then run it for every new person that signs up to your mailing list. Step 3, send exclusive discounts to warm leads. These are people who regularly read your emails and interact with you. They're far more likely to buy from you, and if you offer them discounts, it makes your products irresistible. The more emails you send, the better you get at email marketing. It's a whole beast on its own to learn, but the most important thing you can do here is just start. You'll undoubtedly make more sales. Okay, so remember how I mentioned testimonials earlier? Well, here's something that you need to remember. No one wants to be the first customer. When you're looking for restaurants to go to, what is the first thing that you do after asking your partner thousands of times? You check the reviews, obviously. If you want to buy something on Amazon, would you consider buying it if there weren't any reviews on the product? Probably not. This is why testimonials and social proof are so important. You need your audience to trust you, and having real and authentic stories from previous customers is the best way to earn that trust. A great example of this is Melissa Landry. She has a student wins section on her Instagram story highlights. There are dozens of screenshots there of students saying how much she's helped them. This means that before a customer even goes into her store, they know for a fact that she's credible and can make a real difference to their life with what she offers. You can then find even more screenshots of testimonials on her products, further boosting the trust on whoever looks to buy from her. Digital products with screenshots of student wins will always convert much higher than ones without. So this is something that you absolutely need to get as soon as you can. And they don't need to be complicated. Some creators think that they need high quality testimonial videos like the ones you see on big company websites. But Melissa literally just uses screenshots of her DMs that her audience sends her. Other creators may even take screenshots of social media comments where someone from their audience took the time to mention how helpful they are. If you're already selling digital products and don't have any testimonials, reach out to your existing customers and just ask for some. This is where your email list comes in handy. Trust me when I say that pretty much every struggling digital product seller makes at least one of these mistakes. But the good news is you now have all of the fixes to turn things around. Start with just one change today and watch how your sales grow. And again, check out Stand Store if you want an easier way to set up and start selling your digital products today.